Hey guys, welcome back to another Foundry Reviews. We have the finale of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Welcome. We got the whole gang here today. You got myself, Ken, you got Sly, and you got Johnny. How you guys doing?
What's going on? I'm good. Really excited for the finale of this show. Overall, it's Garbo, but I'm really hyped. Woo!
Stoked for
We're
it
gonna
to
have to
be over.
explore that.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get into it. All right.
Yeah.
So where do we
Let's.
pick off?
Where were we? Two guys,
New York.
best bros.
One
we're
cup.
yes, we're in.
Wait, one cup. What?
He said two guys.
Oh God, no.
All right. All right. That's the after credit scene. That's some after
Just
hours
like the
bonding.
scene. Best part of the show.
You weren't saving, you were avenging.
Okay, goddamn. All right, so yeah, we last episode we left off and we're like, hey, Carly's like, I summon thee people, and they're like a bunch of zombies. Like, yeah, we hate. I don't government. I don't know GRC, like whatever the hell they're like. We're on your side. We're on your side. Whatever you hate, we hate too. We're just jumping on the bandwagon. And we're like, all right, let's go do work, and that's, I guess. I don't really know. They did a bad job with. They did a bad job of Flag Smashers and
Flag Smashers
explaining.
do not feel like a credible threat.
Not at all. Not like real terrorists or something. How does this highly wanted terrorist enter the U.S. without anyone figuring out either? She's just hanging out in a park.
It's true. How does she travel so easily? That's a great point.
Yeah, it's not like she's a baron who's got a lot of money, and a little Alfred running around helping her out.
I guess it's all their connections. They hit up one of the other, people who are also hate the GRC, and they're like, "Hey, you got a plane? Because we need a ride." And they're like, "I got you." And
That's true. A lot of people do seem to support the cause, which, I mean, that should speak volumes to the people that are voting, in favor of this referendum to cut the shit.
It would like I've said this before. I think it's very very important that if they showed people's opinions on what's going on, I feel like they should definitely rely heavily on advertisements and how the news perceives what's going on. Besides, it's just only policies and politics of certain countries, I guess, and certain individuals that are within the government or the military. We're not actually seeing the people's view. Are the people being manipulated? Are they being brainwashed? We don't know how they view the Flag Smashers. We don't really know how they view Captain America either, because they haven't. I feel like they missed out. I feel like they missed out quite a bit throughout the entire series by not showing any of that, and I feel like that's very important to it, because I think the whole big part of the show is it's showing one point of view. It's showing one just kind of one truth kind of thing, and not showing the other side of anything. And I think that's very important to show what's going on, and to be oh, look, the Flag Smashers are actually trying to help shit out. They're actually trying to make difference and make things better for people, and they're trying to fight for freedom in a sense, but they're just going about it the wrong way. But I don't know, they just kind of it's just lazy. This show is lazy about Flag Smashers. I won't lie.
I think it needed more time. It's just not enough episodes to try to build all of this up, I think, is probably the main issue.
Yeah.
But
yeah, but this episode was it was like a, I don't know, it hit pretty good. There was some big vote going on, and they're like, hey, we're gonna vote on what are they voting on?
Something that the Flag Smashers don't like.
Yeah, essentially. It's the best way to sum it up. They're trying to there's a lot of refugees ever since the blip. I know we hate talking about it, but the show dealt a lot with the blip. So because people came back, it was we're not going to help these people because they've been gone. There's no accounting for that when it comes to law and civil liberties and rights. So we're just kind of going to say let's write them off. They're a written expense. And that didn't sit well with a lot of people, which, I mean, 50% of people are gone. I can understand why.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I think it's a very cool way. I like when shows and movies they take an outlandish thing like that, and they deal with it in realistic terms. And that is an economic crisis when billions of people just plop back up out of the world out of fucking nowhere. I think that's crazy, to think about. You don't see a lot of stuff like that. One of my favorite things I like to talk about is District 9. They talk about and if aliens just kind of showed up, they deal with it like refugees. They just like have to start putting them in camps and stuff like that. Like it's a shitty situation, and I really like how that show did it. And I like how they're kind of doing it with the show, but like again, like the execution's kind of lazy. They don't want to show too much, because they just, which is really weird because like that's such the big focus on it. But like
You
they
think
don't
it
want.
should be pushed out more, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they should show like how much of a negative effect it really has on stuff, on these
Yeah, and
people.
actually show like people like just popping back up into their houses and like the conflict around that and like how you deal with like that's like the big issue, like where we put all these people like that. They should have shown more of that and like how they've gone from showing back up to these refugee camps and all that, and like how poorly they've been treated and blah blah blah, and why the Flag Smashers are trying to fight the way
Right.
they are,
Because
so that you actually care about them.
I don't think that like Harley is like such a bad villain. I think she's misunderstood and she holds a lot of anger, a lot of resentment for stuff, even though like she's fighting for the right reasons, kind of thing, But she's just kind of like too far gone to actually keep a grasp on what's good, what's wrong now. Which is it's really good. It's really good written. Like it's really good storytelling. I like it a lot. They just kind of, like I said, they just kind of biffed it. They just biff it. They're
Yeah, they go way too fast through it. For
true,
sure.
very true. And I think they want you to show some empathy for Carly and her cause too. But it's just kind of hard to do because it's kind of crappy. It's just a crappy thing.
You're not showing the good that she's doing. You're just mainly focusing on like, oh, she blew up this building and killed people in it.
Yeah, and she's like, let's just leave the guards in there and blow them up. I'm like, really? But like, what did they do that bad besides he said, oh, what do you say? I hope you Flag Smashers die or something. It was like one dude who
Yeah.
said that, and she's like, all right, well, I'm gonna kill 18 of you
I'm
people
about
now.
to end this man's whole career, right?
Yeah, I'm like, that doesn't give you a right to fucking blow this dude up, but like, hey, like whatever, that's on you, lady. Yeah. So there was some big meeting going on, and then there was like they turned the lights red, and they're like hack into the system, and they're like, hey, we're Flag Smashers, we're gonna smash you up.
Yep, and then they like take them hostage, and then we get the epic scene where Falcon shows up, and you know what he's got? Whatever was in that box, it's a new suit, and it's probably vibranium, and it's interesting. I don't know how I feel about the suit.
It's
cool
comic
that he
accurate.
has the suit. That's true.
It's comic
I-
accurate.
I feel like it could have been slightly redesigned to like,
I don't like the neck.
yeah, I don't know. Something just feels off.
Reminds me of like
I like the concept of it. It's
like-
just something design wise is slightly off for me.
yeah, I feel like it's just like too solid. It kind of feels like Iron Man, where it's just like all metal on him or something like that. I feel like
True.
I don't know. Like maybe if it kind of felt like more of an exoskeleton and showed more. I don't. It's weird.
Yeah.
You kind of remind me of like
anyway,
'89 Batman, where you
breaks
couldn't.
in- Wait, sorry, what?
It's the same. Remind me of like 1989 Batman. Like I think you're right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
just like he has to turn his whole body in order like to look at something.
Oh yeah. It feels like it. Yeah. That I totally see that for sure.
Yep.
But he does well. I mean, he fights in it just fine. He's using the shield really well.
Mm.
He like the first thing he does is break through a window and hit someone with it, and then has it bounce back, and he grabs it like diving in. So that was pretty badass. But then he spends so much fighting like a single guy, like the whatever his face, and I was like, he should have ended this fight so much longer ago. You got a suit and the shield, and he's still somehow like going toe to toe. Like I was like, this fight is taking way too long.
This man has vibranium wings, a vibranium shield, a freaking jetpack, and somehow he's getting his ass whooped.
Yeah, I was a little surprised by that, but I was like, okay, whatever. Maybe he's still adjusting, so I'll give him that.
Plus, I mean, George St. Pierre. Come on, man.
He
knows
Can't
what
match
he's
that.
doing. He knows what's up. But also, a freaking
So
Sharon shows up.
yeah,
Like,
her and like
that was
Bucky are
super
kind of like
weird.
on the ground. I guess she just shows up out of nowhere, and they're like, "Oh yeah, didn't she have a disguise on?"
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
like
had one of those
what do you call it?
masks.
Like Black Widow in Winter Soldier. She had like that little holographic mask kind of thing to make it look like she's a different person, and then she just
Yep.
peels it off, and she's like, "It's me, Houdini." Yeah.
And she just keeps walking around like it's nothing, like the whole time. Like,
Yeah, it's
why
like
did you
no
have
one
to
here
have
is gonna
one?
recognize me, and it's like okay, like no one even recognized Carly. Like I literally don't think people give a shit if you're fucking wanted for murder or not, or like you're like betrayed America or some shit like that. Like
Yeah.
they literally don't care. Like you can walk around do anything. Like, they don't give a shit. What else? What else happened? Oh yeah, so they're like on the ground and they're like, "Hey, Falcon already figured out what Carly's trying to do." He's like, "They're trying to get the government peoples to leave. They don't want to hold them hostage. They want them to leave." And we got a couple people on the roof escaping through a helicopter, and a couple people on the ground floor going through some like, SWAT trucks, which I thought was very weird. Like SWAT trucks made sense because they're like being secured, but like the dude who was flying the helicopter was like, it was just a dude. It was like, yep,
Right?
I'm a flag smasher. And why would these government fucking officials go in this helicopter? Like, they weren't even forced in or anything. They didn't even seem like they were being held hostage. Just like, okay.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. It was a little strange. Why didn't they all just go in the armored vehicles? Just
Yeah, I don't know. They're like, let's.
whatever, I guess.
Yeah, that was very weird. It just didn't make a lot of sense to me. Like, why would these people just, like, straight up just go inside this helicopter willingly? And it's like, this guy looks kind of shady. Not only that, like, how come, like, do we want to go with the SWAT people, or do we want to go with this skinny guy, like, who's probably, like, wearing some, like, weird mask over his head, like, some purge stuff? Yeah.
But they get in, they're like, all right, let's go. And then, it's
Let's
taking
go.
over and everything. So, Falcon's got to go, to get it back. So he's doing his thing, flying along and getting his little Red Wing to help him
Red
out.
Wing was back, back in action.
Red Wing 2.0,
Torres,
yeah.
Torres fixed it up for him, I think, which was
Was
cool.
it Torres or did the Wakandans give it to him?
I thought it was Torres because didn't he say like, "Oh, take this shit, I don't want it anymore." So yeah, you're right. The Wakandans did it. You're totally
I
right.
thought that was setting up for Torres's return.
As the Falcon.
Yeah.
Or something.
I was taking it as, because Torres is, he's definitely going to come back. And I took it as, Sam's way of saying, I'm done with this. I've become more than the Falcon.
Okay, I don't like that what you just said there. You said Torres is coming back. I don't like that one bit.
I know.
So keep that opinion to yourself, please.
I'll do that. Yeah, I won't speak out of turn. I'm sorry, Father.
Oh man, no, but yeah, I just assumed that it was Torres, but you're totally right. That was the Wakandans. Yeah, that was the gift from Bucky. He's like, hey, I got the the people. They do some stuff for me, and here you go. Here's a box. They did me a little favor, so that was cool. And he busted out. He got the new suit, which is looking fly. He's kind of, I don't know. It's very weird. There's just a lot of stuff like in the show. Yeah, and just in the show, I'm just watching. I'm like, man, this is like kind of dumb. There's just a lot of dumb moments.
Corny.
Yeah, and the fight scenes, I'm like, these don't make a lot of sense either. I'm like, they could be doing. I feel like he could take down that helicopter a lot faster than he was messing with.
I
honestly.
appreciated the interaction he had with the woman in the helicopter. It gave me a lot of Iron Man vibes.
Yeah.
Oh, he's like, so on 3, I'm gonna need you to take over this helicopter because I'm about to do something, and you're gonna need to take it.
What if she's like, no, actually cannot fly a helicopter. It's like, it's all right. My robot said you can't. No, literally, I cannot fly a helicopter. Like, do not kill the pilot, or like, and then they just crash.
Sorry, she had a pilot's license for boats. My bad.
Red Wing messed up, dude. Not a class E, not a class F.
Silly Red Wing.
So silly. So yeah, but it was cool as fuck seeing Falcon with like the shield and flying around with that. That was just a weird scene of the helicopters. He like snatches the dude out of the chopper, and then the girl like jumps in the front seat of the cockpit and starts flying the helicopter out of nowhere.
And it all works out. And it's great.
Surprisingly.
And he saves people. It's fantastic. People
It looked cool the way he used his wings though, like when he landed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was
Gave
pretty
me like
badass.
angel vibes. I was like, God damn.
Yeah, so we have the APCs that are carrying people and stuff, and there's a little interaction with Sharon following some SWAT dude around, and she fucking gasses him or whatever when he's in a car.
That was dark.
That was morbid.
Straight up
dude.
pulled out mustard gas, dude.
Yeah, and just like killed him. He was kind of like burning or whatever. I was like, oh damn. Yeah.
Damn.
Didn't seem in character for the Sharon Carter we knew.
Yeah.
Then Bucky goes after the armored vehicles,
trying to protect those hostages on his
and
bike.
he does something different. He helps people instead of killing them, and he's like, "Wow, this feels good, bro.
This feels good, bro.
This is some gourmet shit."
It's like Wow, I can't believe
like,
I haven't done this sooner.
I'm a hero. Yeah, he's just saving people, which is so funny. They're just like these people that are like driving the APCs. Like, why wouldn't you just get like your people to drive the APCs? They're like, let's drag roadblocks out in the middle, like straight up. They're like roadblocks they have for constructions, like medians and stuff. Like, damn, dude, they're just like straight up dragging concrete like that. Like it's nothing. And like it was kind of funny. Yeah, but
Yeah.
and then they just have a big like fight scene of like Bucky fighting off super soldiers, and then was
And
that
then-
the debut? Yeah.
Yep.
Carly Morgenthau.
Guess what? Captain America is back. You're right. That's right. The bad one. They didn't take a suit. Yeah, I guess we actually missed something in the last episode's after credits, right?
Yeah.
We did. He got a little creative, and it gives a little bit of the original Iron Man vibes, where he's like pounding on a shield and making it. Obviously, he's making something completely different, but like same type of vibes. But
It's just
for
got his
bad
face on the
reasons.
middle of it instead of a star. Just like
Those
it's like
YouTube how-tos out, and he's like, "How are we doing this?"
YouTube tutorial, like Wakandans how to.
How to
like-
make Captain America's shield 101. And he puts his little like, what does he put on the back?
Oh, he
Like
puts
his service medal?
Lamar's star.
Oh, is that what it was?
Oh, that's
Oh.
so cool. Aw, man,
Okay,
why
that
don't they
makes
have
sense.
that on?
I,
there?
it was a really missed detail. I noticed it on the second watch through, which I mean I don't know why I watched the episode a second time, but point being is that's Lamar's.
Ah, that makes way more sense. Yeah. So he comes back and he he tries to throw the shield, and like it's immediately just like bashed out of the air. He's like, "Well, that was useless." Then they just start fighting, and he joins in. And what happens next? I think Bucky gets hit down into that little like construction area or something.
Yeah, there's like a big, like kind of a. It almost looks like a quarry, but it's just like literally just a big like square hole with some scaffolding and stuff.
Right. Like they
And-
were building something there, like a basement or something. And
Yeah, him
so
and
he's down there fighting something. And
that one guy with the long hair, they're fighting. He's got like rebar or some shit. They're just having a pretty cool duel and whatnot. And Carly is getting her. I love this part. I love seeing Captain America just beat the shit out of her because he was like, "You killed Lamar," you know, and he was
oh, he's so upset.
he was clobbering her. I loved seeing that, you know.
She looked scared.
I know.
genuinely.
I think about that detail quite a bit that Sly said, and I think like episode 3 or something, or episode 4, whenever he did take the super serum, and when Carly was actually being like when she was fighting Baron Zemo, and like she was scared, you know, and that was that child kind of like coming back out of her, like because she's like not even 20 or something, she's like 18, you know, she's young as shit, like that's a kid, you know. I think about that a lot. Whoever brought that up in that past review, and I think that a lot. That lot it definitely came to my mind during that scene when he was just chasing her down, like
Like a grown ass man is chasing this
just
child.
just
mean-
beating the shit out of her.
Determined.
I think it would have been just a lot better scene if he just had his helmet off, you know, just to see the rage in his face and just like see his hair messed up, or like just kind of like
Ooh.
I don't know, just some like saliva, so he just looked like a rabid animal, just like fucking going crazy. But he just kind of came out of nowhere. And when he showed up, I thought it was really weird because there was like zero interaction between him and Bucky, you know, and it continued that way too. They just didn't say anything to each other. There wasn't like a close up of them looking at each other with like a little nod. They're just kind of like there together as if like they've been. It was just weird. I feel like definitely something
Seemed
might have got
chummy,
cut out.
and
there.
like I'm just gonna tag along and follow suit, and I was like, there's
Like,
no
they-
recognition.
They
no
literally
interaction.
could have spent like 5 seconds and just like looked at each other and nodded and be like, "Hey, like we need to do this. Like there's people's lives at stake. Like, hey, you fucked up like before, Wyatt. Like you need like what John Walker is. Yeah, you fucked up before, so like you need to." Like now's the time to rebuild yourself, you know, like show people what
Call
you
him by
actually
his
are made
real
of.
name. You're like, you done fucked up, Wyatt.
Yeah. But like, that was weird. But I did like seeing him beat the shit out of Carly. That was funny.
That was
pretty
intense.
funny.
That was pretty intense.
Yeah. Then she
I would
grabbed.
have been a lot happier if we got closure from John Walker during that scene. If John Walker was the one to bring that to a close, I would have liked that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um.
That would have made sense.
But since when would they start like catering towards that character? Why would they want to start working on him? They haven't the entire season. Why would they want to?
God damn.
Yeah, then Carly she jumped in one APC and started driving into that pit Bucky and that one guy were fighting in, and she just drives it,
Tried
and
to drive it into the cliff,
Oh
right?
yeah,
yeah,
this is intense actually. Yeah.
and then she jumped out of the way real quick, and then yeah,
And
she's
John Walker's like, he's like struggling. He's like, what do I do? What do I do? I don't know what to do.
Carly's
'Cause he's
running,
like,
but then
he
he
wants-
made the right
he wa-
decision.
he finally tries to save it instead of going after Carly, and he generally
kind
he
of
does
upset
his
about
best.
that.
He does his best. He tries to pull it up, but then he gets knocked over. And then wait, you said you were upset about
The
about
fact
what?
that he actually went for the hostages.
Yeah, I was very.
Like,
Because you
yes,
think it was
the
out of
right
character
thing
at
to
that
do,
point?
but his character, it's like
I
I
feel like
don't know
his
what
character
about
would have
his
been too
character.
angry. Like he's already has like a fucking redemption arc like 5 minutes later. You know, like out of like.
Right?
You're right. He like.
I don't know what's going on with him anymore. It just doesn't make sense. None of it tracks. I was like, dude, like, going for the hostages is the right thing.
It was a
but,
very good
not
feeling,
for her
but
neck.
like
Because
according
I
how did he act before.
I think it's showing that there's still good in him. Like he
Yeah.
generally wants to do the right thing, but he's so overshadowed by like trying to do the like trying to prove himself. So like finally he like actually made the right decision in the heat of battle that time, which he's
You're
shown
right.
in the past he can do. So it was nice.
Yeah.
He obviously failed because he wasn't quite powerful
Because he's
enough to
John
do it.
Walker.
Yeah, because he doesn't know
True.
how to win.
But Falcon has his back on that one because he comes in with his suit and somehow drags the whole thing with the jetpack
Another
and his
Iron
suit.
Man, like,
Yeah,
homage.
Tobey Maguire style.
Yeah,
yeah.
and he has two not night wings, red wings. He has two red wings.
Kid to get dick wings
attached, both of them, and then drags the thing up, and he's like, he saves it. He looks all heroic, and I think one of the guys says, "Oh, dude, that's Black Falcon." Or what?
Oh man, yeah.
Pretty
someone
sure
says,
that's
that's Black
Black
Falcon.
Falcon,
He's
yeah.
like, no man, that's Captain America.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yep.
that
So I was like,
scene
all
was a
right.
little cringy, but I'm like, that's
No.
definitely. I'm like, that's some awesome fanfare right there. I mean, like that's I really enjoyed it, but I was like, man,
a little on the nose, but
for sure.
yeah, that happens. And then what happens? They all get in the little pit and they're fighting again. They get smoked out, and I think all the remaining Flag Smashers try to run away, so they start chasing them, and they kind of go into like an underground area. And
Oh yeah.
so the three of them, Bucky, Falcon, and John Walker, are running together. Like they're all like, all right, let's just hold our differences and work together for a bit. Like
They didn't
without
say that
talking,
though.
apparently.
They're
Right?
just you just
Right?
assume that, which is weird. That's what I was talking about earlier, and I was like, they're just kind of like just there,
They're
like hanging
all
out.
right, all right. Yeah, they make it work, I guess. But
Good for
So
them.
casual.
it was very casual. It felt a little off, but again,
sure.
it was kind of nice to see for once. But they're like chasing, and then they split up. They split
Yep.
up. Bucky and John Walker go one way, and Falcon goes another. And what do we find out?
Ken
Freaking
was right all along.
Yep.
yes! We learn who the power broker is.
Yes, I was super excited. I've been thinking about that for weeks and weeks, and I'm like, that motherfucking Ken, you spoiled it.
It's so funny because I've seen other people review it and they're like, "Oh, dude, it was so obvious that this would happen." I was like, "It was not that obvious."
No, they did a
I thought they
decent
did an all
turn.
right job, like hiding it.
Parts
Yeah.
of it are obvious, but like the fact that it's true, it's disappointing. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but it feels like a letdown having Sharon be the power broker rather than some different mysterious figure they could have introduced for the future MCU projects.
It's just Modoc.
I've seen a lot of theories about what's going on with it, and like some have said like it's not Sharon Carter, and I'm like, dude, at this point it could be anything.
I honestly did not really care if it was Sharon Carter or not. I have no prior attachment to her at all. So it's not
Right.
like I'm like, oh, that's not Sharon Carter or something like that. So like that's not me. Like it is with you. Like you have different like I guess views of her like or perspective because of what you've seen before. So like how her characters acted in the past. So like you should have some kind of like inference of how her character should act now, which I don't have. So for me, it was just kind of like yeah, whatever. Like it wasn't that cool. Like it's just kind of just randomly, just like I'm the power broker and I'm going to kill you. Like all right,
For
evil.
me, it's just like I would have rather had like some cool figure, like maybe a character that would show up in Shang-Chi or Black Widow, someone that's like a high authority. Sharon just doesn't. I hate to say it, but the villains this season, none of them are threatening.
Yeah, literally, none of them.
None of them.
Yeah. So yeah, then she's like, "I'm gonna kill you, Carly." And then Jordan St. Pierre comes out and he's like, "Hello, it is me. I am back." And he's like, "Ah, GSP, kill her." And he's like, "No, you will give me more money now."
All right, we'll out you as Power Broker.
It's so fucking dumb. He's like, "I want to discuss billing situation right now." It's like, "No,
You
dude,
pay
I
me in
literally."
francs, not euros.
Yeah, it was a weird
We're
interaction, but classic like shootout type thing.
It's like Reservoir Dogs.
What Sharon
Uh-huh.
gets Sharon gets shot, right? I think.
Yeah,
Oh,
she
yeah.
gets shot in the belly.
He's
Carly gets
down,
shot.
but like
Later.
Falcon shows up, but he still doesn't realize who the power broker
I think
actually
you
is.
mean Captain America shows
Sorry,
up. I'm kidding.
you're right. You're right. Captain America shows up. So he's like, then he starts fighting Carly, and like they have a decent fight. He's doing some of the flips that he was doing in the montage. He's like using
Sure.
the wings as like stabilizers to fight back. So it's pretty intense. It's not bad. But then like ultimately the power broker or Sharon just shoots Carly.
Which
Um,
Falcon missed out on her like being all power brokery.
Yep, he still does. No one knows. No one knows. That's
Yep.
what ends up happening. Like she still gets what she wanted.
Yep.
Like Carly is dead because she shot her.
She wanted
She
that the
couldn't have
entire
told
time.
Sam at the very end, like, she's the power broker.
Oh yeah. No, she goes. Wait, what did she say? She says like something. I feel like.
She said, "I'm sorry," because she was gonna shoot Sam, and then she says, "I'm sorry."
Oh yeah, she does. Oh my god.
She just it's like, "Nah, bitch, you sorry that you fucking lost."
Yeah, you're sorry that you're bleeding all over this new suit.
I'm gonna bill your ass for it.
These duds is too fresh, man. You
Damn,
I'll
dude.
send you the dry
He
cleaning
drops her
bill.
real quick and like licks his finger, and he's like etching the blood off.
He's like more blood. Damn it. Not
He's
again.
bleeding on me. That's
Uh.
fucking terrible. This child's dying.
Yeah, but he that's what happens there.
Yeah.
Bucky and John Walker, they
Set a
they set a trap for those other guys because they used the app or whatever to track them somehow.
Yeah.
That was
Like
pretty good.
they catch up and then they walk away because everyone else shows up to take them away,
custody,
arrest
yeah.
them, and they're all like buddy walking away, and you're like, all right, okay, and then what happens? Captain America flies away and brings Carly to the ambulance.
Yeah.
Then he has a whole speech to tell the political people to do better, right? Basically.
Yeah, it was like during when like a bunch of cameras were on, he was yelling at the senators. He actually opened up a dialogue, and I really appreciated that. It was weird timing, and I thought to myself like, I don't know if the senators like would be like they're just like to like go back and forth with him, but they did it anyways. I didn't have a huge problem with it. I just thought it was kind of odd, you know.
Yeah, the timing was a little odd, but if they were there, it made sense.
Mhm.
The fact of them being there was odd, but since they were there, it fit well, I guess.
Yeah.
But it was a long
He gave a
speech.
good speech and a very compelling argument, but I think the part that stood out the most was when he said, "Think about it. We finally have a common struggle."
Mm-hmm.
That part I was like, God damn, that applies to not just like, them, but everybody. You and Bucky, everything.
Yeah.
It's perfect. I mean, it also applies to like our current situation right now, if you think about it.
Yeah, which was
Yeah.
a lot of that, I mean, like this had like a lot of kind of subconscious, like just shit lying
Undertones, yeah.
beneath the surface that they definitely wanted to focus on, especially stuff that dealt about the race and common struggles, and which I really enjoyed, which I'm very glad like this came out, and I think it's gonna do wonders, and I'm very glad that like people can watch this and think about it. It's nice to see issues being like up on the screen, but it's still like in a fun way, I guess, and still have like. And because like sometimes like people watch stuff to escape like real life issues and shit, but it's also nice to see that stuff for younger audiences too. Like
For
it's
sure.
and then yeah, it was just like kind of weirdly wrapped like little bow with like Bucky and yeah, Bucky he just kind of like I don't know, he wasn't super focused on, which I kind of felt bad. Like he didn't get any cool upgrades or anything. He was just kind of like supporting character. I mean, like I know it's like Winter Soldier and Falcon. They were just like but I'm like, I felt like they could have had Falcon or Winter Soldier a little bit more, maybe in that final fight, or at least killing like GSP or fighting GSP a little bit or something.
Yeah.
Something.
Which, by the way, is GSP dead?
I don't know. I
Did
thought he.
Sharon successfully kill him? I couldn't tell.
I thought, but I can't. I'm not totally sure.
Knowing our luck, he'll come back. He's like, "You cannot kill me.
Yeah.
I am Squirrel Man."
Now I want to kill Captain
Ridiculous.
America.
Oh my god. And then Sharon was just shot in the stomach, and they're just like, "Oh, you gonna be okay?" She's like, "Yep." And I'm like, "All right,
Yeah, I'm
cool." Yeah, because she had.
Oh, dude.
What?
Yeah. No, sorry. Go ahead. I was just thinking of what happens next.
Oh, what does happen next? I was gonna ask you.
Next way, come
Oh.
on, man.
Well, there's a few things that happen next. First, they're like, all right, so we need your help, Captain America. Did they say Captain America? I don't know, but they said they needed help, and then he flies off all heroic to go help and do the next thing. But then it cuts to the shoot, what was it? The flag smashers like being detained in one of the armored
Oh.
vehicles because
Yeah.
they're super soldiers. They're like taking
And
them
yeah,
away.
and the SWAT guys
And
are
then
like
it
shut the.
blows up.
Yeah, the SWAT guys shut the door, and they're like one world, one people kind of thing
Which
like that
means that they
too.
were gonna bust him out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then it blows
They
up.
weren't gonna make it.
And it cuts to the freaking butler, and you're like, "Oh shit, he's even got his butler like doing his dirty work while
Mhm.
he's
I was
in
like,
the
that's
raft."
fucking
He
lit.
killed all the super soldiers.
Yeah, and you thought that Zemo was like giving up. Nah, man.
He had that ready. He was like, "All
Yep.
right, if I go in,
It-
I need you to do this."
It cuts to him next, doesn't it? It shows
It
him
does,
at the
in the
raft,
raft.
right?
Yep.
And the radio comes on, or is it in a newspaper?
It was a radio. It was a radio.
Okay, it was a radio, and you just see him smile coyly, like,
Yep.
the work is done.
Here we go. Here we go.
I used the super soldiers to destroy the super soldiers.
Yeah.
it
It was
was
kind of insane. Kind of insane.
I like it.
Then we get then we get the introduction officially of U.S. agent.
Oh
We get
gosh.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus again, talking to his wife, and like he comes through. He's like, U.S. She does a weird thing where like we need a U.S. agent or something.
Yeah,
like
I
that.
don't care for that. I feel like
And
they
he's
could have
like-
given her better dialogue to give him the name.
I
Yeah.
agree.
So he
It's
just
a little
has
corny,
the
but
exact
he's like,
same.
I'm back, baby.
He's got the exact same suit with like different colors, and it was just
Black.
yeah, it's
Instead
just
of
It's
black.
even
Yep.
even the actor Wyatt Russell was disappointed with it. He said,
Which
Oh,
I
really?
get why. It's kind of lame, but I don't know.
It's fairly
Wow.
comic accurate though.
Yeah, it is. It is. I'm wondering if
So-
he's ever going to get a new shield, because we're
don't
definitely going to
know.
be seeing more of him.
For
And
sure,
for those of
obviously.
you who aren't sure, the Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character's name is Contessa Valentina de Allegra Valentina Allegra de Fontaine. I'm not sure what her role is yet, but obviously she's like a Nick Fury type of character with all
Quite-
these like
quite the
at her
name.
disposal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can we get like
It's a
like an agent, like a team of U.S. agents? That would be kind of cool. Can we get
Yeah,
like
Like Dark Avengers or some like.
that's
like
what I'm
dark-
thinking. Either the Thunderbolts or the Dark Avengers is where we're going with this, because
I
you're
think
not gonna keep
Thunderbolts
Zemo.
Seems pretty
No.
likely. Yeah.
that would be interesting. That's a cool idea.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
think
mind
that's-
seeing either, because I mean we just got the rights back to a few other unhinged characters that would be great to have on a team. So
Mm.
just a thought.
Possibilities. But yeah, I think the rest of this episode is like wrapping up a bunch of
Mhm.
stuff.
They're like
Because
just
you
tying
get
everything
Bucky
up.
going back to that old man's house to finally
Oh.
tell him like, hey, I killed your son.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so that was powerful because you feel for him because he finally has the strength to tell him about it.
I'm pretty sure that terminates their relationship now.
Well, yeah, he
imagine.
came in. He's like, "Hey, like, I need to tell you something. Like, I need to get this off my chest." And then it goes back to, like, him. Like, you're not doing this. Like, you just are accommodating like other people. I'm like, you need to do something for you. You need to stop avenging. Like, you need to actually work on like your pain and stuff like that. And what's weighing him down. And I was talking to someone before, and they're like, "Why did he feel the need to tell him?" I'm like, "Because he's also human. Like, he's got a guilty conscience, like."
Yep.
And he just needed to get that off his chest, and he felt for that man a lot too. They were good friends, and he didn't want to lie to him. He wanted to tell him the truth, like
Yeah.
this, like Bucky is a good man, like even though like he was brainwashed and like fucking murdered a shit ton of people, that doesn't mean like he doesn't he's not a good man or doesn't have the capability of being a good man. And I really like that. You know, like he could have went on for the rest of his life lying to him, but instead he wanted him to know the truth before like that old man like passed or some shit like that. You know.
He got the closure he needed.
Exactly.
Yep.
That he was like wanting the entire time, and that was
He
giving
told me, he's
Bucky a
like,
lot of
I don't
grievance
know
too.
how my son died. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Um, it was a cool scene. I liked that was one of my favorite scenes though. Like I said, like I think we all agree that like Bucky has been written a lot better than Sam has in the past a couple episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Next.
But Sam still gets one last moment, I think.
Oh, before that was yeah, you're right. Yeah, one last
Gardening.
moment. He goes hits up Isaiah. He's like, "Hey, man," like he's like, "Oh, it's Captain America." He's like, "Never thought I'd be able to do it." And they're joking around a little bit, and he's proud of him to a degree. You know, he's happy about
Yeah.
it, which is good. You know, because Sam like was inspired by him. You know, at the same time, like he's ashamed. Like that's the way it went down. You know, like he loves Steve Rogers to death, but at the same time, he's like Steve Rogers wouldn't have been a thing. You know, like shouldn't have been a thing. Like it should have been him. You know, like if there was a black like Captain America, like generations of people would have been like grown up differently. You know, there would have been way less prejudice he feels, and it would just been a different life for a lot of different people. You know, so at the same time, like I feel like there's a lot of anger, but like it's not he doesn't really know where to focus it. It's just like wrong place, wrong time, you know? And it's just very confusing anger, and I just really enjoyed that part too. I thought it was fucking cool. I thought it was really interesting, and he just wanted to do right by Isaiah, you know, because Isaiah was also ashamed of his past and ashamed of the country that he fought for, ashamed of like that his brothers endured, like, and that his country betrayed him and shit. And they brought him to the Captain America museum, and he's like, and there was a whole section dedicated to the story of Isaiah Bradley, and I'm assuming all of his other compatriots that everything that they went through.
Yeah, that was good. That was really
You
cool
could
to
see him kind of just break down. Like,
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Yep. Because he's finally his past has not been overwritten or destroyed. Essentially,
Yeah.
like he's been acknowledged. Essentially, so it was really cool. It was a really good scene.
I liked it a lot, and yeah, this is very powerful, very powerful. Like this show has very powerful messages, and I think that's very important. Shit like that, very good.
Yeah.
What happened? Oh yeah, the stuff with Sharon Carter. Was that next?
Is that the end credit, or is that?
That's the end credit scene? Yep.
Oh,
that's the
okay.
end credit scene.
Then,
Then I guess
partway
we get
through
the
the
party, and then the end credit.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Bucky drops off something for the therapist.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah, I forgot about that.
That kind of bummed me out because it was like, that was something that Steve had. You'd think you'd keep it as a memento.
Well, I think it symbolizes him moving on.
Yeah, growth as a
Yeah,
person.
I did pick that up. Yeah, it does. That does make sense. Yeah.
So
nice
I
touch.
thought that was nice. Yeah. But then some credits, and then we get the thing with Sharon Carter.
Oh yeah, they're like, hey, it's my bad. Government's like, my bad, Sharon. Like, here's a trial. Like, we cool. She's like, yeah. She's like, you want to come back to work for us? She's like, absolutely. She's walking out. She gets a phone call. Says, hey, what's up? It's me, Power Broker. How are you doing, world terrorists and villains? She looks directly at the camera and says that, everybody, I'm not lying. She says that. She says,
That bothered me.
I've got a lot of new that's so fucking
We
dumb.
got a lot of weapons at our disposal now.
Yeah, new tech, new weapons. It's like, get the
Very obviously setting something up. But
yeah, probably.
We
But
need
it's
Zemo to extend his rule to just past super soldiers. He needs to kill her now. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
it is an interesting dynamic, though, I think, with her being the power broker, but also now having an in the government herself. So it could make for some interesting storytelling if they do it correctly. So hopefully they do. Like I feel like the fact that the Carters were synonymous with like being good and like helping defend the world, and now she is the exact opposite. It just kind
Right.
of brings the whole the world is upside down concept to like a close, so to speak, because like everything's wrong. Like the world is just Captain America's bad. The Carters are evil, and like it's just everything's like all topsy turvy, and like so this is just another example of that. So
End
it's
of an
very
era.
interesting. Yeah.
This is the woman who stood against Hydra when they infiltrated Shield during Captain America: The Winter Soldier, and yet
Right.
here she is now doing the same thing they did.
Yep. Yep.
I just don't. I don't know.
How do you fall so far?
Right? You became the very thing you swore to destroy.
Oh Lord.
You were my brother.
Is it? Man, I did not like this episode. Those fight scenes had so many just like weird just things that just kind of like threw me for a loop, and I was just like, didn't like that.
Yeah. Yep.
Feel like they tried to wrap things up too neatly and too lazily. It felt like didn't feel like it had a lot of effort, a lot of thought behind it. It's just like the simplest kind of
I
story.
don't like the title ending.
What was that?
The director
Oh.
came out and said that he originally meant to have something different. So at the very end of the show, it changes from the Falcon and the Winter Soldier to Captain America and the Winter Soldier. I like that. What I don't like about that is this season, you guys had so much character development for Bucky and how he was putting his past behind him. And yet, he's still called the Winter Soldier.
That's
Yeah, it should be
fucking
the White Wolf.
hilarious. That's fucking hilarious. Like, why didn't they have like White Wolf development, man? That would have been so much cooler. You know, like the whole
Honestly,
point of that was you're
Right.
so
He could have
right,
gotten a
Sly.
suit. He could have gotten, something. But no. And the director said, he's like, we originally were going to have it be called Captain America and the White Wolf for the end credit. And I was like,
Yeah.
what changed? What
Probably
changed?
some people in a board meeting were like, "Nah, people, we won't make it. We want to focus on the real, star of the show. The Captain America. Falcon becoming Captain America. We don't want to steal his thunder. I bet you that's what it was, something like that.
Probably.
But what are you gonna do? I think that would have been cooler because
But it
they both
hurt.
grew as characters.
They did. But
so-
he's still, that name is stuck to him.
Yeah,
It's so bad.
yeah. But what are you gonna do? So what does that leave us? What are our ratings for the episode?
uh, 5. Fuck it, 5.
5.
I was so
Okay.
like meh on it.
Okay.
It's
And
meh.
5, you said 6.
6. Oh yeah.
All right, then I'll make it easy. I wasn't too upset. I definitely don't think this was great, but I still enjoyed it, so I give it a 7. So I think that gives us a solid 6 between all of us.
I think it's fair.
Um,
Yeah, 6.
The last episode for the finale. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, that's the official review, guys, of episode 6, the finale. Thanks everyone for tuning in for the review series. I like this a lot. This was like some of my favorite reviews on this series. It was very funny. A lot of fun.
We went off.
Yeah.
We had a
Likewise.
lot of good combos.
Yeah. But hey, make sure to leave some support down below in the comments and leave a like, guys. We'd love to hear what you guys' thoughts on the complete show. Maybe do you guys have any predictions on what's going to happen in the future of the MCU? We'd love to hear from you. But we'll see you guys later on the next review series. But until then, bye everybody.
Peace.
Ken, you got this one?
You want me to do the intro?
I do. You know what's really funny? Is that I've managed to skip every single intro this entire review series.
What? That's not true.
Yeah.
You did 1 or 2?
Nope,
pretty
I
sure you
haven't
did
done.
one.
I have not done a single fucking one.
No.
I,
Hold
I
on.
skipped every single one. I'm pretty sure I
No.
did.
You might have actually skipped all of them, John. Holy fucking shit. How did we not notice?
That's what happens when it's like a couple
No.
weeks between like recording the reviews.
I'm so
He
happy.
didn't do any of them.
Did you really look them up
He didn't
just
do
now?
any of them.
All right. Well, we got to keep the roll going, so I got to do episode